Like, what is your biggest fear or nightmare? I'll even start, because I have two. Spiders crawling out of my mouth, which is like great, so I'm glad we got it out of the face. There's some covers with that.
Yeah.
And the other is public speaking.
It's a true story. I have known Ben for a very, very long time, and one of our very first conversations was about how much he hated public speaking. So when he came out here and did his whole like recreation of insomnia stuff, I was like, really? Public speaking is your biggest?
Yeah, you're a Green Lantern now.
You're like, conquered that fear.
Overcoming great fear.
Very clearly, yeah.
So Josh, what's your professional or personal horror?
Oh my God.
Tell us all.
Where do we
You need to lay down on the couch out.
Yeah, there's
some
a couch
analysis here.
I can sit back and I can really get started with my mother. Like, we can really go into the whole thing. You know, I feel like I put this in the book a little bit. Dennis knows this. We were actually joking about this because I didn't think you were going to actually ask this question. But
I told you I would.
I was talking about this. I have a couple different fears, you know, and I always have nightmares about tidal waves a lot and flooding a lot. And what I learned is if you have dreams about tidal waves and flooding, that means you're probably doing too much.
You?
Yeah, me, exactly.
What?
As I write so many books and I do so much that might be something there. I also I am incredibly, Dennis knows this very well, I am incredibly superstitious. Yes, what are you doing, dude? So, this is not a joke. Ram and I have talked about this a few times too. Like, I have a thing about a lot of superstitions. He introduced me to a new superstition today that I was like, please.
Oh yeah, I told him about splitting the pole.
No, that's mine too.
Yeah.
I'm superstitious too. I was waiting to talk about it, and I'm a pole.
He didn't think it was real.
I think we should see what are you doing? This is not fair.
No, I made a promise with myself that I won't make new people I meet do it anymore. But like my friends that have known me for a long time, they have to not split the pole with me. And if you do split the pole, you have to blink pinkies and say a rhyme.
Oh my God. I will leave a room. Like if I'm talking with somebody, right? And somehow knock on wood comes up, I will leave to find wood. Like this is not a
It literally happened backstage. I said knock on wood and I knocked on a metal canister. He's like, that's not wood.
And I went and I found wood and I knocked on it. No, it's right here. We talked about this.
We got some right here.
I feel like that is like, now I know how to get rid of Josh.
It's right here. I'm fine, but you know, like I won't walk under
Maybe like a therapy
ladders
block
and stuff like that. Oh, listen. There's a lot of stuff. I have a lot of very superstitions. Like I have certain mugs that I use certain mugs I'll use each day.
Really?
Oh, we're gonna talk about this? All right. I'm okay if I don't use the mug that day, but I definitely am like, there might be something bad.
Mugs, clothes, that has to be specific. My therapist says this is called magical thinking, and we should not do it. But I write Harley Quinn, I'm mentally ill, it's not a surprise. So.
I was saying this to Dennis, that if I don't do some of these things, I'm like, it's totally fine, I'm just cursed now. Like, that's how, I'm totally fine, but I'm totally cursed.
It's called obsessive compulsive disorder. I've been living with it for a long time.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of my things. I definitely have like a reaction to those things. And so, yeah, knock on wood is one very particular, but I have a lot of other little superstitions and things. Like we were talking about, I won't chairs with water, I won't chairs in empty glass, and things like that. That's very bad luck.
Yeah, it is.
You know? Yes, you know.
And if I do it, I think about it for like hours.
No, I won't do it. Like, my wife is like, I'm like, no.
But like, if it happens like on accident, like if I don't know my drink is empty, I'm like, oh, cheers, and I look at it, it's like, oh.
Josh, you've had some construction at your house. What if you walked underneath a ladder with that?
I said that earlier. You said that earlier. He doesn't think.
No, I thought about this a lot when we were doing the construction, the entryway, there was a ladder there, and so I would always walk.
I like the number 13, and I have a black cat, so those don't affect me.
Right. You figured that's just.
No, yes, that's like, it's like the ones that are like, this is bad because it means witches are gonna get you. I'm like, me. Like, what?
If I told you splitting the pole had to do with the devil, you'd be like, let's split that pole.
Yeah, I'd be like, split. But yeah, I guess I'm very similar to you, Josh. I have a lot of superstitions. I don't have a lot of deep typical fears because I'm the kind of person who like messed up, morbid, weird stuff kind of makes me feel good. I don't know if anyone else is like that. It's not like an edgelord thing. It's just like, I like the most messed up documentaries I can find. And I don't know, man. I like to hold my finger to the flame of the reel and just feel it. So the things that should scare me and do deep down scare me, that's why I find them compelling, are also like the source of a lot of my entertainment. I don't mean like a messed up way. Like I can't watch people really hurt each other and stuff, but just like people's stories. Life is crazy, scary stuff happens. People get, lost at sea or kidnapped or whatever, and they tell their stories about it sometimes. So I find that stuff really compelling, but also terrifying. For most of my life, I've really hated the movie E.T. because I think that thing is freaky and gross, and I'm sorry, Superman would be very disappointed in me, but I would have not helped that thing.
Like you had jump scare in the movie that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Now we're really into it.
The big thing is, I gotta say with Catwoman, like I have a recurring nightmare where I'm in a place that's familiar to me but not real, and people are there that I know sometimes that I don't, but it's just that feeling of like, I wake up again and again and I'm like, everyone was mad at me. And I know it's not real because it doesn't feel like, I don't wake up thinking it happened, but I wake up being like, I was at that place again. Like it looks the same every time I dream about it. It's the only like recurring dream I've ever had in my life, but it's really weird. And it definitely formed my Catwoman story a lot. The idea of the unfamiliar familiar and the feeling that you've effed up big.
Dennis, public speaking is not your fear. I know that for a fact. What?
Like I think about, because we were talking about, like nightmares and stuff, and I don't really have nightmares, but I do have anxiety dreams. And one of my biggest ones is, it's like an old job I used to work at where I had to check a box for things to distribute to people to work for. It had to be done by like 9 o'clock or whatever. And in that dream, I'm back there and I haven't been in years, and the box has not been checked. And I'm just trying to get there and figure that out. And, so it's like deadline feeling and things like that. Yeah. I also feel really weird. I just want to say this. I'm not comfortable telling my fears to my editor. You said against me.
Oh yeah.
So we were friends. We were friends. Josie, when you close your eyes at night, what does your night terror?
Yeah, so I've got 2 of them, and the first one is just being alone in silent woods. Like I've grown up in cities my whole life, so like big and bigger cities as I got older. So like I'm expecting noise and sounds, and then I grew up as a kid in the 90s, and there was like a big movement in the 90s of being like, these children living in the cities don't know what real America is. We're gonna put them on a bus and throw them in the woods, and so. Like they would take us school trips out to like the middle of nowhere, the woods, like up in like the mountains in like Maryland, like out of
Burkittsville
the area.
No.
Yeah.
The Blair Witch reference.
But that's what it felt like. It was like, and then like there was no lights, there's no sound around, there was not enough anything, and then they just leave us there, and there's ticks everywhere, and we'd be like, we are going to get murdered by a serial killer. This is where the serial killers live. We know it's not the city. We live there. I know my neighbors. This is where the serial killers live, and they're going to get us. So yeah, being alone in the woods still to this day freaks me out. And then the second one, which is silly but also so freaks me out, is the graboids from Tremors. As a kid, we had a basement, and I had put together a route of chairs and tables to jump on from the stairs to get around so they wouldn't get me. And
Amazing.
I'm still convinced, in the woods, one day a graboid is going to kill me, and y'all are going to be witness to
A
this.
double whammy.
She died the way she lived.
Fearing woods and Tremors.
So not just the desert, which is where the graboids
No,
live. Okay.
I'm cool with the desert. I can see if a guy's coming at me, I can see that.
That's hilarious.
Jeremy, how about you?
Before I had kids, I was soulless automaton. I had no emotions whatsoever, and now all my fears revolve around them. And they're always just like scary things. But I did weirdly have a huge, like an anxiety nightmare that I couldn't get to a place to sign for like one of these conventions. And I was just like trying to get it, people kept getting in my way. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be late. It was like really weird.
And that really happened, Jason. That wasn't a dream. That really happened.
There's not that urgency with me getting anywhere to sign.